They already did it. I can't have an audio check right now.
I can check it. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Good?
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am.
You ready?
Yes.
Good morning, Lieutenant Steve Gallaher with JSO Homicide. This morning I'd like to announce the arrest in the murder investigation of Amy Hatfield and Robert Massey. It occurred on July 7th. On July 7th, about 3:25 p.m., police and fire rescue responded to the home of Robert Massey, located in the Portside mobile home community. When they arrived, they met with Massey's roommate, who told them that he had just come home from work, and when he went inside, he found Robert deceased inside the house. The officers conducted a search of the residence, and they actually found 2 deceased individuals. First, they found Robert Massey dead in his bedroom. He had been stabbed several times in the neck and throat. They then found Amy Hatfield in a separate bedroom where she had been strangled and had a ligature tied around her neck. Detectives responded to the scene, and they met with the roommate, who told them that Amy was the niece of Robert, and she had just recently moved down from Pennsylvania with her boyfriend named TJ. He wasn't sure who TJ was, but he did know that he was driving a Nissan Maxima, beige or golden color. Research into Amy and TJ identified TJ as 34-year-old Thomas Brown, and he was from Pennsylvania and actually had warrants out of Pennsylvania for burglary and for violation of probation. The rental car company that TJ rented the car from actually told us that the car that he had a GPS tracker on it, and indications were that the car was located in Georgia at that time. Being that it looked like Brown had fled Florida and went to Georgia, homicide detectives contacted the U.S. Marshals, who assisted in locating and arresting Brown in Thomasville, Georgia. That was on July 12th. Following the arrest, homicide detectives traveled to Thomasville, where they interviewed Brown, and he did admit to the double murder. He said that he and Amy were arguing over money, and during the argument, it became physical, and then he choked her, and then he eventually strangled her with a string that he tied around her neck. After he strangled her and she died, he went out to the living room and told Robert Massey what happened. Those two got into a fight. He pulled a pocket knife out and started stabbing Robert until he died. He then fled the scene and was later captured. Brown has been brought back and charged with 2 counts of murder, and I can try to answer any questions.
Do we know why he went to Georgia? Was there a reason for that, or did he just go there to get out of this area?
I think he just fled to get out of the area.
Dan Scanlon, Times-Union, says he was in a rehab facility. Was this something scheduled, or again, just part of trying to get out of the open?
I don't believe it was scheduled. I think that was just in his attempt to flee, maybe to hide.
Any other questions?
Do we know if, and I'm sorry if you already went over this, do we know if he has any sort of record, or has he been arrested before?
He had warrants out of Pennsylvania. I don't know what his record was besides the burglary warrants and the violation of probation.
None of these are ever routine, but this does appear more vicious than nature, maybe more heinous. Can you comment on that?
Well, it's obvious it is. I mean, I don't know what comments other than, there were severe wounds, and then, the girlfriend who, has something tied around her neck. The only he can explain that.
Do we know what the argument between the girlfriend and him was about? Did he ever go
into it? It was about money.
That?
I don't know any more than that.
Would you call this horrific?
Oh, yes.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Lieutenant.